So it's wonderful to have you, sir, here. So before we start, I would like to give everyone a brief introduction of you, sir. Mr. Vikas Sharma, currently a senior vice president, head of human resource of HCL Infrastructure. So it's indeed a pleasure for all of us to have you amongst us, sir, and enlighten us today with your perspective on the current situation.
Yeah, so firstly, I don't want to run through a presentation. Let me firstly welcome all of you. Hope all of you are safe and taking all requisite precautions that are necessary in a scenario like this. And moreover, thanks for taking out time on a Sunday morning. Today we are sitting remote. Yeah, all of us are there, and I can see. Thanks, Dr. Jain, and thanks. I can see, Dr. Chitta also there. Thanks for joining. So see, all of us are connected without diluting the essence or purpose of this meeting. And I think this is going to become the new normal. Uh, and as we progress, we'll see more and more of this. And therefore, in the situations that are arising and the support and technology that is available, we will see more and more of these remote operations becoming the new normal. I think all of you have to understand how do you adapt to this very quickly. It's something which is going to stay. I don't think this is something which is going to go away. With our experience in the organization, I'm telling you. So this is asking for a huge trend, which is going towards digitization. Yeah, whether it's payments, whether it's banking, whether it's your manufacturing, and therefore it has its own impact uh, on the skill sets required at the work areas and in the organizations. So a lot of retail, entertainment, travel, hospitality are all discretionary spends. You may say that I was planning a holiday this year. I can always choose not to get into a risk and put my family at risk and get into a holiday maybe later. Maybe we'll go next year, or maybe once things settle down, we'll start traveling 2 years later. Now, wherever it's a discretionary spend-led consumer verticals, there's a big impact there. Supply chain dependent verticals like automobiles, uh, etc., are again going to see a very downside on their demand pattern. The natural resources like oil and gas, material manufacturing, again, has a negative impact on it. Now, there's a drop in capital market valuation and deal core closures to affect near term spend. Now, while we say this, there's for a near term, there seems to be a spike in a few industries, you know, and look at the grocery and essential retail, and there's a panic buying behavior, and across the world, across the globe, online service providers again, yeah, whether it is your entertainment solutions, everyone's watching TV, everyone needs entertainment, locked up in a home. What do you do? Not going out anywhere. So, of course, suddenly I am sure the Netflix and you guys would have been spending much more time on Netflix now than in your previous days. Yeah. And positive impact on some industries in the midterm scenario is on healthcare, life sciences, medical equipment manufacturing. Yeah. So your enterprise tech spend will continue to grow as shift to digital economy accelerates. Yeah. So suddenly the tech spend is going to go up pretty high in the medium term. All companies would want to ensure that they are tech savvy and they are ahead the curve there. So how do you deal with this? Sense the upcoming threats. You don't need to wait for the directives. Having sensed it early enough, you need to start sizing the issue. The moment threats you are able to smell, sniff, understand, it's important to start sizing the issue around it. The impact it's going to have on all stakeholders in your business. Because if that gets impacted, it's going to again impact the demand behavior, the consumer behaviors, and therefore indirect impact on your organization. It is in times like this that the strategic thinking and thought leadership of any organization comes to test. Your ability to therefore quickly turn around things and quickly come up with solutions which are executable. Get trying to reach a perfection at times becomes difficult. So you keep perfecting as you are moving. So therefore, uh, important of and how to deal with that is to ensure you have an effective and quick execution. Yeah, continuously monitor and learn from the changes. Take charge of the situation. Collaborate. These are times to collaborate within the organization, with industry forums, uh, with on certain areas. You also collaborate with your competition when it comes to an industry. Yeah, so you have to understand where to collaborate, where not to. Reframe and reset. Learn, unlearn, and relearn. Now that becomes a mantra for any good organization. From a financial health perspective, for any organization, please understand, top line on revenue is a vanity in a scenario like this. Your bottom line and profit is sanity, but cash is reality. And that is where we need to focus on as an organization. This is not the time wherein sale comes back and says COVID 19 growths will not happen, we can't grow. No. What you could do is while you lose customer, you ensure you keep adding customers in the other areas. Last but not the least, very important is care for each other. This just reinforces that learning never stops for us in life.
True, true. Good. I mean, let me first of all thank Mr. Sharma profusely for sparing a Sunday. Some of the points or some of the ideas that you have shared are really, really profound, and being prepared and ability to see forward. I think you have made a point there. We suddenly realize that life can be very simple. In fact, we can live in a very frugal way and still be happy. And as a community, we can be resilient if we practice certain things, nurture this thought of one for all for one kind of a. I think the point that you have mentioned, care for each other, actually it has a magical power.
Correct.
So that's really good, and I think we have made a good beginning with your session. I'm really happy. I'm sure our students will also, because that's going to be part of their management when they become leaders
Correct.
in their respective workplaces. I think these ideas are really, really profound. Thanks so much. And I think
Thank you.
let me allow my students to challenging with challenge you with some questions.
Oh yeah, sure, sure, sir.
Thank you.
I'm Dr. Shamsundar, faculty sir. And when you are explaining about the impact of COVID on different sectors, right? So you said like there will be a huge impact on retail industry, right? But it is a regular requirement of every household, like FMCG and other things. Like so, we need it on a regular basis. So will the demand increase at a higher level, or it will have a negative impact?
See, retail flourishes more on the fact what is visible sells more. जो दिखता है वो बिकता है.
Right.
That is what we have been sharing so far. Now, I am not restricting this to the essentials that we are talking about, or
Yes.
food or beverage, or I'm talking more about the overall retail as an industry. Yeah. It for the short term and the midterm is going to experience some negative impact, because shops are not going to, malls are going to remain closed. People are not going to go out, venture in groups in this thing. Yes, sir.
This is Dr. Jaganmohan Reddy. I'm HR faculty. Manufacturing, though we have been talking about automation and all that, but still, some minimum amount of human resources are to be deployed. So when we are in this kind of situation, monitoring their performance, their satisfaction, engaging, that becomes a challenge, number one. Number two, during these times, there'll be a lot of emotional labor on the part of the what we call HR people itself. So how you as the head of the HR, or, heading the HR function, you see that, they're, quite, equipped and able to take care of the employees as such.
Best way to engage them is to ensure you repurpose them, reskill them, and give them that confidence that they are going to be a part, and you're investing in them to ensure that because they remain relevant for the future.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Sir,
afternoon.
sir, I am from operations department, sir,
Yes.
and sir, the current situation is such like you don't know like what are the what could be the specific skill sets that you should be having in the upcoming future. Like the last time that we met, you have told that automation and the other skill sets would be very helpful for us. So in this current situation, what are the specific skill sets do you recommend that we should develop on, so that in the upcoming future we could be like we are on site with the industry?
Uh, in fact, in today's time, your automation digitalization is at its even more peak. So what I had said earlier gave you more time to prepare yourself. Today, you don't even have that time. It's now. Instead of will do it, will over time pick it up. The situation has only preponed the need for you to be ready for handling automation and develop that as a skill set with you.
Hello, sir. I'm Satvik. So my question would be, as you have told on one of the slides, that companies will be focusing more on their investments and expansions and all. The businesses will be more detailed about their investments. So how the startups are gonna get some attract the investors in this point of time? So for the startups, it would be difficult to get the investors, right?
It depends on startup in which area and which field. There could be a
If you
startup,
take
the ITs in the area of IT and digitalization. I think they'll mint money and they'll not know how to cope up with the amount of demand that they have in terms of
but
both, and they'll really grow.
yeah, if we take the platforms like Netflix and Amazon, which are more oriented on movies and all, so they need people physically to create the content virtually. So in that case, would that be a problem? Wouldn't that be a problem?
The workforce will be required. Your new normal will settle down somewhere in between two extremes of complete work from home like it is today, or it was a completely in person and in office the way it used to be. It will be somewhere in between. So whether it is an Amazon, whether it is a Netflix, whether it is whichever companies, they will have people, for creating content. They will come, maybe they will create at home whatever meetings they need to do, and they need to meet in person, or there are groups, they will do that. They will do it more remotely than in person, but I'm not saying they will not do it in person. They will do it. So are we saying shootings are not going to happen? They're going to happen.
Yeah.
Films are going to be made. It will be a mix of uh, uh, you know uh, working from office and from home, and the ability to discipline yourself while working from home. I think that's important.